What is going on? Welcome to episode 43 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, and I have not one, not two, not three, but four other co-hosts tonight. We are forming a super Nintendo podcast. Basically, the Voltron of Nintendo podcasts is happening right now. So, before we jump into this thing, because we're talking about the history of 3D Mario. That's the topic for tonight. But we just had an Animal Crossing Direct, so we got to hit on that. Before we do, here we go. Quick message from our sponsors. First, Audible. If you want to get yourself a free audiobook, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. There you can get Super Mario, Console Wars, tons of good books. That's audibletrial.com/NPC. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. Extremely comfortable, extremely affordable. OPSeat.com. Use coupon code N64Josh to save yourself $10. Let's see. We do the show live Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific. We're a little late right now because of Animal Crossing Direct on twitch.tv/N64Josh. It's every week. You can also listen to it on Podbean, Google Play, and iTunes. Just look for the Nintendo Powercast. I think I've hit everything. Let's get with some introductions. First, we have Jesse from Nintendo Dads. Give us the elevator pitch of your show, my man.
Greetings. We grew up as gamers, and we're all raising the next generation of gamers. So we do Nintendo news, reviews, and opinions from the parenting perspective.
Awesome. Very cool. And it's basically just Nintendo, right?
Yeah, I'll sometimes talk about like what I jokingly call non-Nintendo games. Like
Non-Nintendo.
if that's been what's my focus, but like we don't do news for the others. We just do news on Nintendo.
Awesome. Okay, we've also got Matt, a.k.a. Trainass from Hello Nintendo. What's up, dude?
How's it going?
Welcome. Give us the elevator pitch of Hello Nintendo.
So Hello Nintendo is the official podcast of the Nintendo subreddit, where it's all hosted and run by the mod team members, including myself. And it's pretty much just all Nintendo. We try and get some interviews and stuff from actual developers that do AMAs on the sub and everything, and yeah.
Very cool. Well, welcome, guys. Thank you for being here. We got a voice you guys have heard a few times on the Nintendo Powercast. It's Bill from Run Jump Stomp. Otherwise, actually, he's known as Run Jump Stomp. He's from Nintendo Switchcraft. How are you, man?
Doing very well. Happy to be here.
We're keeping you up late, dude. Give us the elevator pitch of your show.
Very late. I got to be up in like 4 hours, but that's okay. It's worth it. So my show is 3 days a week, usually about a half an hour about Nintendo and Nintendo Switch, mostly about Nintendo Switch, but it's 3 days a week, and we're coming up on episode 100 on Thursday.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man. Episode 100. Very cool. Okay, and last but not least is Lloyd from Nintendo Pulse. How's it going, man?
It's going well. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here with four other awesome Nintendo podcasts talking about Mario games. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is going to be great. Give us the quick elevator pitch of Nintendo Pulse.
Sure, yeah. Nintendo Pulse is our weekly Nintendo show over at res.tv. We've been doing this for 12 years, something like that.
Whoa.
We started out as DS Life way back in like 2005, became added on Wii Spot, merged the two together to Nintendo Pulse, and that's kind of where we've been sitting for years and years and years. So yeah, we do weekly Nintendo news, game reviews, stuff like that. So it's fun thing to get together and to chat with Nintendo games with friends.
Awesome, very cool. Well, the reason we are doing this show tonight is we're going to talk about the history of 3D Mario games, because on Friday we get to play Mario Odyssey. Now, I imagine most of you guys have probably played it, at the very least, probably seen some videos, and it's looking pretty awesome. But we planned all this, and then Nintendo decided to give us a direct on Animal Crossing Mobile. What was the exact name, like Campsite or something like that, or Campgrounds? I can't remember the exact title, but
Pocket Camp.
Pocket Camp, there you go. Looks to be like a almost like a full-fledged Animal Crossing game on your phone. Way more than I expected. Not just a cash grab. Looks pretty cool. Bill, give us just your quick impressions of what you watched.
I think that this game looks like a game that is playable, and I'm happy that it's not a gotcha game where you have a random chance to get things. I think it really all boils down to is how long does it take to get the the leaf bucks that you can use to speed things up, and like 72 hours in order to build something seems like a long time. So it really depends on how fast you can get those leaf bucks.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Matt, what did you think, bud?
Look kind of interesting. It definitely will, I guess, scratch the Animal Crossing itch until we get the inevitable Switch version. It's going to be, I don't know. Hopefully, it turns out better than Miitomo does, or Miitomo did. But I don't know. I'm kind of interested in it. We'll see.
Yeah, I literally had my wife and my two daughters in my office, like screaming. They were so excited about what they were seeing on screen. And I looked at my wife, who will not pay for any kind of in-app purchase ever, and I'm like, "This is going to be the first one." She's like, "You're probably right." Lloyd, what do you think, bud? What do you think?
I think it looks better than I thought it was. I was really worried for this one because of the delays and basically going back and retooling it. It looks like it's going to be an amazing little, I don't know, pocket version of Animal Crossing that is going to kill everybody's phone battery. Like, there's going to be complaints for days on Twitter about people whose phones are constantly dead from playing this game. It looks like it has most of the elements from the main Animal Crossing games, and it's also like this self-contained little campground area. So this has got to tie into a future Switch version or something. Like it looks like it's set up to do something like that. So I'm actually really excited. I've played a lot of games like this on my phone, so I would rather play Animal Crossing than Futurama or Simpsons or you name it. So this one's looking pretty good.
Okay, cool. I'm making sure we're still live. So yeah, it looks good on my end. Maybe just refresh, guys, if you're not seeing it. So, lastly, Jesse, what'd you think, man?
Meh. I'm not a fan of the series. New Leaf was the first one I bought. I played it for maybe a week or maybe 2 weeks, and then I'm like, I got better things to do. So this one's not for me.
Okay, well that just made
But
me sad.
as I'd like to say on my show, I don't expect all games to be for me. It'll make someone happy, and that's great.
Yeah, I'm actually concerned that I'm going to spend more time on my phone than I want to because of this. I mean, my top played game on my 3DS is Animal Crossing. So, and it looked like they did things in this game to actually progress the series, like throwing a net to catch a whole bunch of fish at once. Totally different. Really, really kind of cool. I'm excited for this, and it really gets me excited for what this team is doing on the Switch. Fingers crossed, right? We have nothing definite, but well, that was just our quick little Animal Crossing mobile segment. Now let's get into the history of 3D Mario games, and so I'm going to just kind of read through some quick. I just took down a bunch of like some notes on like the concept, the story, that kind of stuff. And so let's jump into Mario 64 first. The launch was in Japan was June 23rd, 1996. North America, September 29th, 96. And in Europe was March 1st, 97. The developer was Nintendo Entertainment Analysis and Development. From this point forward, we'll call them Nintendo EAD. The concept. Miyamoto had a 3D Mario game in mind 5 years prior to Mario 64's release. Super Mario FX was the idea while he was working on Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. The idea was then brought over to the 64 because of the greater power of the machine, plus a controller more suited for gameplay. The story, Bowser is at it again. Peach invites Mario to her castle for cake that she baked him, and Bowser imprisons her. And by using the castle's power stars. So Mario must collect all the power stars by entering the different paintings throughout the castle, defeat Bowser 3 times, and you rescue the princess yet again. Gameplay. Moving left to right was a thing of the past. Now Mario could go wherever he wanted. The analog stick on the controller allowed for greater movement within the 3D world. Puzzles, races, boss fights, and so much more would keep us busy trying to collect all 120 power stars. Power-ups included 3 caps, which is kind of cool. We're going back to caps in Odyssey again. The wing cap for flying, metal cap for allowing Mario to withstand the wind, walk underwater, and be invulnerable to most damage. The vanish cap allowed Mario to walk through certain walls and be invulnerable to some forms of damage. So here's some fun facts, and then you guys will get to, I'll stop talking and you guys can talk again. Before Charles Martinet stepped in as the voice actor, Mario sounded like Toad mixed with nails on a chalkboard, and I'm not kidding. If you can, I'll try to get a link to the video in the show notes. It is horrible. It's literally like Toad on crack. It's crazy. Really,
I thought Toad sounded like that normally.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was worse. It was like Toad screaming at the top of his lungs. Mario 64 was supposed to have Mario riding a horse. The idea was scrapped for Mario 64, but made it into the game that was being developed at the same time, which was Ocarina of Time. That's where we got Epona. Flagpoles were in the game initially, but the team decided against it so the player would spend more time exploring instead of rushing to the pole. The devs used, this is a very interesting one, the devs used an Onyx system running an N64 emulator and a modified Sega controller during the development of the game. And the N64 was delayed for Christmas of 95 to June of 96, so Miyamoto could have more time completing Mario 64. So that was a mouthful from me. RJS, kick us off. What was your history with Mario 64? And what do you think of some of these facts we just looked at?
Some of that stuff's pretty crazy. I find it incredibly interesting, and I want to learn more about the development of that game because I read Console Wars, which is a fantastic book, and it was riveting. But that was really from more the Sega's standpoint and prior to the 64. So I want to read that stuff. So thank you for letting us know about that. My history, when this game came out, when the N64 launched, I was in the Army, and I talked to my staff sergeant and I said, hey, there's a video game that's coming out today, and I pre-ordered it, I said it was coming out tomorrow, and I pre-ordered it, and I would really like it if you would let me out of PT today, which for those of you that don't know, that's physical training, so I could go wait outside Toys R Us. And he gave me the look like like, Private, you done lost your mind. So he said no, and I did not. But then after PT, he goes, you can show up to work a little late. Go pick it up now. And I said, oh, man, you are the man. So I went to Toys R Us. I walked in with my pre-order ticket and got my game. And I brought it with me to work. And I worked in what's known as a SCIF, a secret compartmentalized information facility. So you can't bring electronics in. So I had to set my N64 with the guard, and I had to just hope that it was still there at the end of the day. So I left it there, went up, did my job all day. It came down, it was still there. I was sweating it all day, and I brought it. I went and got it, and I went back to the barracks and plugged it in, and me and my roommates crowded around it, and we were just in awe. Like, you turn it on, and you could like pull on Mario's nose and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And we were just floored. We couldn't believe what we were seeing with a Mario game like this. It was unbelievable. And like, we all took turns moving the controller, where you just push it a little and he walks, and then you push it a lot and he runs, and we were blown away. So I had a lot of fun with that game, and it's one of my all-time favorite games.
Very cool. Very cool. Matt, how about you? After hearing a little bit of the history of that game, what do you think? And then give us your history as well.
It honestly, sounds very Nintendo-ish. If any company's gonna come up with some weird ideas, of course, it's gonna be Nintendo. And some of those kind of surprised me. Especially with the horse, that was kind of a big surprise. But yeah, it seems kind of on par for how Nintendo goes through.
It seems
through their
very
games.
Nintendo-ish. I like it.
Yeah, very Nintendo-ish. It's like, oh, it's weird. Nintendo came up with it. Nintendo did it. So I didn't get my N64 until maybe a year or two after launch. And to be honest, my first experience with Mario 64 was a 64 DS.
Okay.
I didn't actually get to play it until I played on the DS. I'd played a couple times on friends N64, but never really much past the first level. And when I just playing it on the DS, it was like, I don't know, it was kind of like holding a piece of history, because you get to see where we get a lot of the 3D aspect, like for 3D games, now, and actually getting to kind of experience some of these bosses, and even the memes that I've seen online based on the game was kind of interesting, and kind of disappointed that I didn't get to actually experience it on the N64 firsthand, but.
Yeah, I got you. Jesse, how about you, man?
Yeah, so I think I ended up getting like an N64 in this game, like as a Christmas gift. That's that winter from my parents, because I was like just newly married for the first time, so we didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't buy hardly anything for myself back then. But yeah, I don't remember much about playing it. I do remember eventually, beating the final Bowser. I remember never actually getting all 120 stars, because damn that Rainbow Road level. Among others, but I think that was the one that really, that was the most unpleasant. Yeah, and then the follow up, the DS version, I also got that, in that the Christmas '04 when that launched, and I didn't get very far in that one. It's just trying to play a game that's meant to be played with an analog stick on a D-pad just didn't click for me.
Yeah.
So I think the kind of the funnier story with Mario 64 is this last summer my son started playing it at a speed running capacity, learning a few tricks and glitches, and he's able to do a 16-star run in about 30 minutes right now.
Wow, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's very cool. If anybody is going to play it on the DS, if you play it on the 3DS, the circle pad does work. So that's kind of nice, because it feels a little more like actual Mario 64. So, Lloyd, how about you, man? What's your history with it?
Well, I got this game on launch day, and like most I don't know, first gen Nintendo titles, this is like the big title that kind of pushes the genre forward. So it was the first time we heard Charles Martinet as the voice of Mario. The first time that Princess Toadstool was called Peach, which is what she was called in Japan. So they kind of called her Princess Toadstool Peach, so kind of mushed it both together. But a lot of the stuff that they did in this game, they basically kept going forward. Analog stick was amazing, and when I first got it, a good buddy of mine, he was a PlayStation fanboy. He had the PlayStation and was playing it. He was playing Battle Arena Toshinden, he was playing Wipeout XL, he was playing all these amazing games, and he's like, nope, I don't even want to come see that piece of garbage. I love my PlayStation, I'm never gonna come see it. And then he came over anyway, and he's like, oh, gotta see what this is all about. And I started the game, got into the first level, basically ran around in a circle with Mario with the analog stick, and then passed the control over to him. And he spent about 20 minutes just running and jumping. He's like, holy crap, this is the best thing ever. I don't even want to play PlayStation. Do you want to trade systems for a while? Like, do you want to play my game? I'll take this with it. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to keep this for a little while. Maybe we'll trade in a couple months. But it just blew me away, and the hype leading up to the release of this, with like the Ultra 64 and playing Killer Instinct in the arcades, and just like, oh my god, we're gonna have an amazing arcade quality system when we get home. N64 wasn't quite up to the same speed, but Mario 64 was just such an amazing title to launch a new system with, and then really bring us into the 3D era, which I don't know, many people didn't think that a platformer would ever work in 3D, and then Nintendo, as they tend to do, showed them up and said, nope, we figured this out. Here you go. Here's an awesome game.
Yeah. So for me, I never owned this game. I bought I was like 16. I when the 64 came out, I had a very serious girlfriend at the time, getting the driver's license, all that stuff, and hadn't really been gaming much. Oh, there's the box, even for those of you that are just listening.
My original one from 96.
Oh, that's
nice.
awesome. That is awesome.
That's impressive.
And so when I finally went out and bought a 64, the two games that had me sold on it were GoldenEye and Mario Kart. That's what I walked out of the store with. I didn't, because in my mind, all I was thinking was, I found a girl that likes to play video games. I'm going to buy games that we can play together. And that's what we did. That's what we did. And of course I married her, because you can't let those ones go. So
True that.
you know.
Oh yeah, hold on to them.
That's funny. That my first date with my now wife, then girlfriend, we went out for dinner, went for coffee, and then we came back and played Mario 64. So kind of parallels there. And I married her as well because of the whole video game.
Nice. So the only time I saw this game played was at a buddy's house, and I would jump in, play for a little while, and then jump out. And I remember we showed up at his place, and he's like, "Oh, I'm about to finish it." And so he threw Bowser off for the third time, and I saw the ending of the game, and I was like, okay, sweet. Well, I'm going to go back to GoldenEye, because once I could start shooting people, it was just, I just loved it. So I'm still in the middle right now. Actually, I'm going to be in trouble. I have to finish that game this year. I told a bunch of people early on in the year that I would finish 64 before the year is out. So I think I'm like 20 stars in right now. So
I think you should finish it before you get to play Odyssey. Personally.
I agree.
Oh, great. So that means I'm going to be real busy. Lovely. Well, guys, is there any other Mario 64 memories, anything like that? Anything else we should touch on before we move into Sunshine? Anybody at all? Okay, perfect. Let's move into Sunshine then. I just want to make sure we don't miss anything. So, Mario Sunshine. This is a game near and dear to me. I love it. I've been streaming it the past few weeks. So, launch. GameCube, baby. That's right.
You're a Wavebird, I mean. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, real quick side note. I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with my Wavebird last night. It actually played really well. It was pretty cool. So Mario Sunshine. Launch Japan, July 19th, 2002. US, August 26th, 2002. Canada, September 14th, 2002. Europe, October 4th, 2002. And Australia, October 11th, 2002. So, developer, Nintendo EAD. The concept, Mario 64 2 had been in the works for a few years, but was canceled along with Mario 128. In an interview with Nintendo Online Magazine, Insider, Tezuka and Kazumi mentioned that the game's development started with the idea of gameplay using a water pump. So I actually want to stop there real quick and talk about this. Mario 128. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I remember constantly going to IGN's upcoming list of games that were coming out and always seeing Mario 128 and was like so hyped for it, so excited for it. Did you guys have the same thing with that game? Was it something that you were really anticipating? Lloyd, you're shaking your head.
Yeah, seeing the demos of Mario 128 and seeing all the little Marios running around in 3D space was just like, oh my god, look how powerful this is. I was so blown away that this was actually a game that we're going to play. And then that actually became Pikmin, using the technology that they built to have 128 Marios running around eventually became Pikmin down the road. So Nintendo's like that. They make stuff and it becomes other things. So they're a weird company that way. They don't ever throw anything out.
Yeah, and what's interesting, when we hit Galaxy, there's a little nod to Pikmin. At least that's the idea. So, so story. Mario, Peach, and Toadsworth are heading to the tropical paradise of Isle Delfino for a much-needed vacation. When they arrive, Mario is accused of covering the island in pollution and graffiti. A dark figure disguised as Mario, Shadow Mario, is the real culprit here. To clean the mess, To clean the mess on the airship, Mario finds Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dousing Device, or FLUDD. He does battle with a giant slime-covered piranha plant, only to be arrested right after defeating the plant. Mario is immediately found guilty and ordered to clean up his mess and recover the missing shine sprites. Shadow Mario shows up again, and this time grabs Princess Peach, and the chase begins. So, gameplay. Armed with FLUDD, Mario can spray water to clean up slime, stun enemies. It also has a nozzle that can become a jetpack to help you reach areas that the normal jumps cannot. With a similar style to Mario 64, you have a hub world that gives you access to different stages. 120 shines are up for grabs this time. Some areas you will lose the ability to use FLUDD, and they put your platforming skills to the test. Those are my favorite areas, by the way. Fun facts. FLUDD and the magic brush used by Shadow Mario / Bowser Jr., spoilers, were created by Professor E. Gadd, the same professor that created Luigi's Poltergust 3000. In the Hotel Delfino stage ventilation shaft, there is a janitor who says, "All these ghosts are causing such trouble. They're everywhere. Why can't someone come along and suck them up with a vacuum?" This is a nod to another GameCube game, Luigi's Mansion. The layout of the beach in the Serena Beach stage strongly resembles the GameCube controller. This is a really cool one to look up and check out because it's pretty sweet. One of the pools represents the gray analog stick, while the others are the A, B, X, and Y buttons. The flame at the center is the start button, and the chairs where the Nintendo GameCube logo would be. The two cabana huts are positioned to form the D-pad and the C analog stick. In the beginning of the game, when FLUDD is scanning Mario, there are videos playing at the bottom left corner of the screen. These videos are Mario fighting Bowser in Super Mario Bros., Iggy Koopa in Super Mario World, and Bowser again in Super Mario 64. In the opposite corner is a list of backwards names which represent past Mario games. Looking closely reveals that both Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64 were written with the word Kurt instead of cart. Okay. Original concepts had humans occupying the island. A little girl with brown hair is seen in early footage of the game. The humans were replaced because of a sense of incongruity of normal humans next to Mario, which is funny now, right? Because Odyssey, we see, that was one of the first things everybody said, like, why is Mario standing next to a man? That's a man. This is one of the things that I found most interesting right here. Jen Taylor voiced Princess Peach and Toad. She is also the voice of Cortana in the Halo series. That just kind of warmed my heart when I found out about that.
She's got range.
She does, absolutely. Acapella versions of classic Mario songs can be heard in the levels where you cannot use FLUDD, and those levels were obviously a big inspiration for Super Mario Galaxy, which we'll get to after this. But Jesse, why don't you kick us off? What's your history with Mario Sunshine?
Yeah, this is like the only 3D Mario game that I never finished, and as I said before we started recording, or maybe it was early on, I don't remember. I'm not a fan of difficult platforming, and the parts that you said you enjoyed, where you were floodless in the platforming sections, those are the areas I couldn't pass.
I see.
And the biggest problem is, I think if it was a left or right scroller, just like you would expect, I probably would have been able to figure it out in time. But those platformings were running into the screen in a non 3D game, like 3D in, you don't have depth like a 3DS would.
Right.
And that I had difficulty with that. I think if this was like redone on a 3DS with the depth, things might be a little easier.
Could be.
I remember getting like the second nozzle. I don't remember what it does, but I remember being able to toggle nozzles. So I don't even know how many different nozzles you collect over the game. So that kind of gives you an idea of how far I've gotten. I did try to replay the game kind of like 2008-ish. Since the Wii had the GameCube backwards compatibility, and I didn't even get close to that in my second attempt through.
Gotcha. Bill, how about you, bud?
Well, I think when you say Super Mario Sunshine, there's two things that really come to mind for me, and that's music, and movement. I think that this game, of all of the Mario games that I've played, I think this one has the best music. I really like the style of the music, and I think they captured that island feel with the music for that.
Oh, sorry. I unlocked my phone and then it thought I was still in GPS mode for some reason.
That's okay. I'll make sure to turn left. So
we're doing
the
it live.
music in the game just really captures that island feel, and I love it. And then the movement is amazing. Like the idea where you could spray the water out in front of you to create like a channel, and then Mario could do a jump and then a dive and slide on that water, and then at the end of the water do a jump again and do a flip, throw some more water out, and just build up so much speed. There was some real technique that you could pull off with Mario, and it really made the game rewarding to play. And I know that a lot of people look at Mario Sunshine with almost in a negative light, but I really have fond memories of that game, and I would love if it would come to the Switch to play again.
Oh yeah, dude, I've been playing it. I've been playing it recently, and I'm just in. I mean, I love the controller, right? The GameCube controller alone just makes it so great. But I will say this though: last night, trying to do wall jumps, sometimes Mario does it, sometimes he doesn't. My chat was harassing me so bad, and I'm like, well, he won't stick. It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Superstar 120 in chat nailed it. He said, "Great sense of progression," and you did feel a very good sense of progression through the game, and that's something that you don't really get in most Mario games. You don't get more toolkits available to you as the game progresses, and in Mario Sunshine I felt like you did.
Yeah, I'm noticing that as well. It does have that great feel of progression for sure. Matt, how about you, buddy?
So I never actually saw videos of the Mario 128 that you guys mentioned, but I did read a lot about Mario Sunshine in Expert Gamer, and I think I ended up wearing out my copy of Expert Gamer that featured Sunshine just from reading over and over and over again. And I was really excited for this game. I only really got through maybe the first couple levels or worlds. I had like Metroid Prime that I was playing a lot, and so I spent most of my time actually watching my brothers play Sunshine, and just I was blown away just by how gorgeous the game looked. Seeing a game like this on on the GameCube, and just kind of the colors and how bright and clean everything looked. I mean, you compare it to now, and yeah. But that was kind of one of the big things that that kind of blew me away. But playing around with Flood was always kind of fun. I always liked using just the jetpack and just kind of flying around.
Oh, for sure. Lloyd, how about you, bud?
Yeah, I love this game when it first came out. The island setting, the music, just the bright colors. It was fantastic. I don't think I ever finished it. It was one of those games that I just never completed for whatever reason. And it's also sadly one of the only Mario games that I've ever traded in. I was trying to get a PlayStation 3 and I was trading in everything that I could possibly do to trade it in. And I let Sunshine go, and I've regretted it like every day since. Well, not every day, but a lot of days since. And whenever I think about playing that game, it's like, damn, I traded it in, didn't I? So I'm still on the look to pick one of those up for not a lot of money, because there's a lot of places that are selling it for a lot of cash. But hopefully it'll come to the Switch, because playing on the Switch would just be fantastic. But just to kind of ape what a lot of you guys said, it's the progression was fun. Just the control, the ability to jump and extend your jumps with the jetpack, using your spray gun that way. And I don't know, it was super fantastic that way. And it's as I said, one of my regrets is trading this game in, because I would have liked to have played it many times leading up to the release of the Switch.
Yeah, I just found a copy recently, and I had a bunch of duplicate N64 games, and at the retro game shop near me, I traded in and was able just to kind of do a straight across, which was cool. Unfortunately, it's the player's choice, so it has the yellow stripe across the front, but it had the booklet. The disc wasn't bad, so I was pretty happy to find that. I bought this game when it first came out. I loved my GameCube. I was all about Perfect Dark coming out on the GameCube, and then Microsoft purchased Rare, and It was a sad day indeed. But I mean, even though I hadn't played a lot of Mario 64, I was all about Sunshine. I remember reading some reviews, and some people didn't really love it, and it's not really. But I'm sorry, nobody can do water like Nintendo does water. And when this game ended up being on an island and you could see water everywhere, it was gorgeous. I don't know about you guys, but I was so crazy about making sure my GameCube looked the very best that I even had the component cables for it. I bought a TV that had component video just so it would look the absolute best. And
I hope that was before their $80.
It was
more now.
Yeah, I saw them as high as like 300 to 400 not too long ago. They've recently come down, but I think I actually threw mine away. But we've told that sad story enough on this show. So I was trying to complete Sunshine by getting every one of the shines, and I got stuck on one that I would go back to. And I mean, literally days I spent trying to, and I would try to jet back over to it, and I would fall short every time. And it was this crazy, from in my mind anyway, I haven't gotten back to the level since I started over, but it was fairly tough platforming to get to it. And then I would fall short, and I'm like, I can't figure this out. And I got so frustrated that I moved on. Even though I didn't have to even get this to technically beat the game. I couldn't keep going, and so I'm still kicking myself to this day. But starting the game over again, I play it on a Wii with an HDMI adapter so that I can do the progressive scan. It still looks good. I mean, it's not a widescreen game or anything like that, but I still love the way it looks. It holds up in my mind, and it is just a blast to play. But the fact that we can, the chat's been making fun of me because of my Wavebird here, but the fact that we can now use GameCube controllers again, it was the analog buttons that were the big issue with trying to get like that game and Smash onto a virtual console.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you heard about being able to use GameCube controllers with the Switch if you have the adapter.
Yeah, I raced Mario Kart 8 yesterday, and so it was it works great. It's really clicky on stream, so they can, you can hear all the button clicks and everything. And you've got to click it all the way in to be able to throw your shell or do your cornering. But so we won't be able to necessarily play those games on the go for the true experience, but being able to play it on the TV, if the virtual console becomes a thing, man, I would love to see an HD remake of Sunshine. Like it's a beautiful game. It'd be a ways out, right? Because I mean we're getting Odyssey, so it wouldn't be anything anytime soon. But even just a port of it, just to a virtual console would be great. So
I did hear earlier somebody had told me that the GameCube adapter does not have any support built in for the analog trigger, so that's not actually something that'll work yet.
Oh,
just
I see.
Something to keep in mind anyway.
Yeah,
But I don't think we're going to get Virtual Console until next year E3, if we get it at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because the system's still expecting the shoulder buttons to be digital, so it would need a software update at the firmware level to support analog shoulders.
Oh.
Yeah, which makes sense because playing it as a as I was yesterday. It was a full press of the button until it clicked, and that was the only way to get it to work. So, well, there goes my dreams dashed all over the ground. But it's okay.
Sorry, man.
It's okay.
Firmware 5.0. There you go.
Yeah, right. Where do I plug in my Wavebird? Hang on.
Probably 7.
So, anything else with Mario Sunshine? Any other stories? Anything else you guys want to touch on before we jump into Galaxy? We are moving right along, boys. I know RJS was nervous when I told him how many pages of notes I had, because we're at like.
Well, let's recount the conversation real quick. We were talking, and he said he had how many pages of notes?
At that time, 2.
And I reacted with, "Woof, that's going to be a long show." And he said, "I think we can do it in under an hour." And I said, "That's cute, Josh."
Yeah, we still say we want to get our show back down to an hour and a half again, and that's probably never going to happen. We've been running 2-hour shows for 4 months now.
You guys are troopers, man. You are troopers. Captain Logan did want to bring up Yoshi, which I want to touch on that real quick. I found it very interesting as I was playing through certain levels. I got to a level that has Yoshi's name in the title. It was like, something Yoshi's Picnic or something like that, right? I'm running through the level all over it. I'm looking everywhere. There's nothing triggering any kind of a cutscene or no indicator of what I should do, other than the one little guy's like, "Hey, jump on that big container on that switch and spit the fruit out of the pipe because it's clogged." So I do that, get all the fruit out, and there's nothing. So we did this. I'm streaming this. I'm like, "Guys, help me out. Throw me a bone here." Then everybody's like, I don't know. Yoshi's Fruit Adventure. There it is. So I Google it real quick. Yeah, you have to unlock Yoshi. I didn't want to look how to do that, but I basically was stuck in that level until I unlocked Yoshi, and I'm like, this is really strange design that like they wouldn't like block that level out or not allow you to pick it until you have Yoshi unlocked. Because I mean, I probably spent a good half hour to 40 minutes just running around trying to unlock it. So it's just
I completely forgot that Yoshi, like that whole fruit mechanic, was in that game. That was a really cool mechanic. I loved that, and it's never been repeated. That's what Nintendo does. They don't repeat. They just move on.
Break it down, because I still haven't unlocked him, as Kirby Geek so politely pointed out.
Oh, sorry. Spoilers on a, what's that, 15-year-old game or something?
What is the fruit mechanic, though? Break it down for me.
I mean, like I said, I've forgotten it, but you eat different types of fruits, and it gives you different powers, I think. Like, does anybody who's played it more recently remember? Because I haven't played it since it launched.
I can't remember. Don't you change color when you eat a different fruit and it gives you a separate power? I'm trying to remember. It's so long.
Like you get a separate power, but I can't remember what the different powers are.
Anybody in the chat? Let's see if anybody's. It says, well, yeah, different color. So he didn't get powers.
In my mind, he had powers.
In my mind, the colors represented powers. Perfect.
That's right.
It's beautiful.
Just before or after Mario had to club him in the head to stick out his tongue.
No, he's pointing. He's pointing.
Let's not talk about that. It's sad. It's sad.
Poor
We
Yoshi.
talk about those dark days of Yoshi abuse.
So much Yoshi abuse. All right.
See, when that story broke like a month or so ago, I'm like, I thought that was common knowledge. Like the Atari Nevada desert thing. I thought that was fact, and it turned into an urban legend until it was rediscovered again.
Yeah, the internet didn't like that. They didn't like that at all. It was bad enough we dropped him in so many holes just to make it to the
just to make that jump.
Yeah, just to make the jump. So
much betrayal.
Exactly.
I love that GIF where he flips him off. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's hilarious. It's one of the best gifts ever.
Awesome. All right. Well, I would say speaking of Yoshi, but this game didn't actually have Yoshi. Not until the sequel did we get Yoshi. So Mario Galaxy. This game launched November 1st, 2007. In Japan, November 12th, 2007. Europe, November 16th. And Australia, November 29th, all 2007. Developer, Nintendo EAD again. Okay. The gameplay mechanics.
10-year anniversary next month. We're all getting old.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. The gameplay mechanics of Super Mario Galaxy were taken from a tech demo, Super Mario 128, that was shown at Nintendo Space World in 2000. One of the features that game showcased was the spherical base platforms. Miyamoto was up for the task of making this reality, and it took him and a small team 3 months to complete a prototype. Planets and an outer space environment became the perfect fit for this kind of platforming. Story. Mario is invited to the Centennial Star Festival by Princess Peach. The kingdom is celebrating the passing of a comet when Bowser and airships start raining down fire from above. He's not only kidnapping the princess this time, he's taking the whole castle. Mario must collect power stars all across the universe to save the princess. Gameplay. Gone is your standard controller for 3D Mario. The Wiimote and Nunchuck now have you platforming with ease. Jumping on enemies to defeat them becomes less of the focus. Shake your Wiimote, and now you can spin attack enemies. Running all the way around the spherical levels make for great platforming. Add gravity between spheres, and it takes it up a notch. 9 power-ups each supply Mario with a special costume that grants him temporary abilities. For example, special mushrooms bestow the player with a Boo, or spring suit. The Bee suit allows Mario to temporarily hover through the air, climb special walls, and walk on clouds and flowers. The Boo suit allows him to float through the air, as well as become transparent and move through certain obstacles. The Spring suit allows him to jump to high areas that would be otherwise inaccessible, yet lowering his mobility. The reoccurring Fire Flower allows Mario to throw fireballs at enemies. The newly introduced Ice Flower allows Mario to create hexagonal tiles of ice to cover any liquid surface he walks on. The Rainbow Star grants Mario invincibility, allowing him to destroy any enemy that he touches, as well as being able to run faster. Fun facts. In the level Good Egg Galaxy, there's a signpost hidden behind the door that Mario can read. Made to act as a message on the door, this was done by the developers as a shortcut, so instead of having to program a readable door. So basically they just put the sign right behind the door, and if you turn the camera just right, you can actually see the sign behind the door. So they didn't have to make a new door. It's kind of genius. After collecting 9,999 star bits, all the coconuts turn into watermelons. So there you go. There's your...
I don't think I ever got that far.
Me either.
That's worth all the time.
Exactly. Starbits from Super Mario Galaxy and gratitude crystals from Skyward Sword are based on candy. The candy is called I'm not even going to try to say it because it looks like I have a misprint there. And it's like Conpiere, I think is how you say it, but I'm not sure. And it's popular in Japan. There is a planetoid in the Space Junk Galaxy that looks a lot like the ship from Pikmin 2. So like I said, we'd be talking about Pikmin 2 possibly, or Pikmin. And there is a planetoid in the Bayou Base Galaxy that looks like a Pokeball. So a few nods to other Nintendo games. But let's Lloyd, kick us off with this one, man. What's your history with Galaxy?
I loved the hell out of this game. It was it just looked so beautiful. Like the grass looked real, the fuzzy fur on things looked real. Like it was well done. And this is actually the first video game that I played with my son. He was like 1.5, and I'd give him a Wiimote. He'd shake it, and he would sometimes collect star bits for me. So that was really cool.
That's cool.
but he had fun just holding something while I was sitting beside him, holding another controller and doing stuff. But yeah, I played the hell out of this game. Played it almost to completion, getting all the things. I didn't ever see the coconuts, so I guess I didn't beat it completely. I'm gonna have to go pick it back up so I can unlock the amazing coconut Easter egg, I guess. But yeah, it was just so fantastic. Like just the different worlds, the different gravity that you would have on the different worlds. It was just it was amazing. They did a really good job just kind of engineering just the physics behind the different planetoids and stuff like that. I had a lot of fun playing this game.
Yeah, same here. Jesse, how about you?
Yeah, I know this. This is a game that I beat, but I did not 100% it. I didn't get the full 120. The Superstar 120 in the chat kind of, I think, summed up why a lot of us didn't see the watermelons. Is because we were feeding the fat Luma all the time.
Also true. Also true.
But yeah, I remember it being a game I enjoyed, and I played a lot. I think I spent most of my next 2 weeks after it launched playing through it before getting to the next game, whatever that was back in 2007.
For me, it was an Xbox game, but I'll talk about that shortly. Bill, how about you, buddy?
I had the same experience as Lloyd. My son and I sat down, and that was the first game that we played together was Super Mario Galaxy. He had the Wiimote. He was helping me catch the star bits. There were some touches in that game that were just amazing, like the spider boss fight where you're running around on the inside of the planet this time instead of on the outside. The game was filled to the brim. That disc was packed with surprises. It was one surprise after another, and I absolutely loved the feeling when you got to I don't know if it was the end of a level or the end of something, and it would launch you, and Mario would put his arms out, and he would fly through, and the animation was beautiful. There's something to be said for the way Nintendo, how do I want to phrase this, prefers to put style over graphical fidelity. And I think that's why their games hold up so well, especially the Mario games, because you look at any of those Mario games that we've talked about today, maybe not so much Nintendo 64, but the other ones, and they still look beautiful.
Yeah, it was always surprising to me. Like, you'd see other games come out on the Wii, even like the Wii Sports and everything, and it was like, yeah, okay. And then Mario Galaxy comes out, and it's like, okay, this is on par with what I'm seeing on the 360 at the time,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This game looks better in SD than a lot of PS3 games in 720p right now.
Yeah, you take out the disc and you look and you're like, is there a computer in this disc somewhere? And like, how'd they do this? It's some kind of weird magic.
Exactly.
It's like maybe it's a TARDIS.
Matt, how about you, man?
So it's kind of embarrassing. I never actually played Mario Galaxy, either of them, actually.
What?
Yeah, I know. I know. When the Wii came out, I was doing like working and actually working to move across the country to be with my my now wife. So it was actually one of the games that I did kind of miss. I do remember watching my brothers play it, and it was actually the game that my wife and my sister kind of hit it off with. So when I came home for Christmas, the first year I moved out to Alberta, and then my wife ended up coming out a couple weeks later, my sister kept getting her to play Galaxy with her, and it was like the two of them just kind of hit it off. It was like, well, welcome to the family. Here's video games. So I've got it on the Wii Virtual Console though, and now that my kids are getting older and they're playing games, this is one that I think I'm gonna really start playing, so I can actually enjoy it with them.
I highly suggest it. So I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. I was I don't even know if very is the best word. I was so addicted to achievements on the Xbox 360. My gamer score is like less than 4,000 from 100,000 gamer score, right? All I did was play for achievements. I didn't play for fun. It was a job.
Did
Nothing.
you get Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Oh yeah, it only took me a couple minutes. I should have got all three of them right for the different regions, just because that was that quick. But nothing was pulling me away from achievements. That had its hooks in me bad. And we moved from California back up to Washington, and where we were staying with my folks, and you guys might correct me if I'm wrong, if you remember, but I want to say that Mass Effect came out the same holiday as Galaxy. I could be mistaken, but I think it did. And the only reason I think it did is because
I think Mass Effect came out. No, wait a minute. That's a drama. When is the original one? I'm looking. Keep going.
Cool. That's cool.
November 16th, 2007. So yeah.
Yeah. So same year, right? So
the same week almost.
Yeah. So I had both those. I know I bought Mass Effect when it launched. I touched no other game until I didn't do all 120 stars in Galaxy, but I think I've had like 96. I don't remember, but I know it was up there. And no other game was played until I completed Galaxy. Like I could not stop playing that game. It's probably in my mind the best 3D Mario, and hopefully Odyssey dethrones it. And 2 is right up there as well, right? Once they added Yoshi and that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a reason this game, had so many 10s across the board for the reviews. It was phenomenal. Being able to jump between planets and having the gravity change and pull your feet to the next planet. This was a game. You guys all remember doing this when you first got a Nintendo controller in your hand. To make Mario jump, you'd throw your hands up, right? You hand the controller even to like your mom or something right now, and they'll do that same thing. They do it. Then Nintendo gets smart, and they're like, hey, since people have been doing this for so long, in the new Super Mario Bros. On Wii, when you do this, Mario spins. It's funny, right? In Galaxy, I actually found myself like moving around the planet because I'm like the perspective was just kind of freaking me out that I was actually moving completely around a level. And I'm like, I'd catch myself like, what are you doing? Why are you moving? The screen's not moving. But I would do it on a regular basis. This game had its hooks in me. And it is a stellar Mario title. So if you have never played it, do yourself a favor and carve out a little bit of time. I played the second one. I completed it while we're staying at my parents' cabin. Again, no internet. Everybody else falls asleep. I just lost myself in Galaxy 2. And they're seriously great games that you should find a way to play. I know Drummer in the chat was hanging out, and he's always like, I hope they come out on the Switch. I want to play the Galaxy games so bad. So Let's talk Odyssey, even just briefly. It's coming out on Friday. I'm going off the notes now. I got no notes on Odyssey. I just want to hear from each of you guys, just kind of your impressions and what you think so far with what the game's going to be. And Bill, why don't you start us off?
Well, I think that Odyssey is going to feel a lot more like 64 than it will any of the other ones that we've talked about today. I think that's a good thing. I'm really looking forward to how Nintendo is going to surprise us. And I know that there's a lot of like the game has been leaked and there's stuff out there and everybody's, looking at Reddit or YouTube with one eye closed, kind of looking away a little bit. But I'm really excited for this game. And I remember I was doing I was on a podcast at the beginning of the year, and well, not the beginning of the year, but shortly after the Switch came out, and we were talking about the Switch, and we were talking about Breath of the Wild, and the co-host said to me, "So is this going to be your game of the year?" And I said, "Well, it's March, but I mean the game is amazing. I can't imagine that it's not going to be my game of the year. But we got Mario coming at the end of the year. And who knows what that's going to be. And the more and more that I hear about Mario, the more that I'm like, I'm going to have to pick between these two games. And that is infuriating to me. Like, I have no idea how I'm going to be able to pick which game is better this year. And there's
So
going to
you
be
were
so
just secretly hoping for
What's
Odyssey
that?
to slide. You were just secretly hoping for Odyssey to slide till next year.
Well, I've said this on my podcast a few times that Nintendo could afford, with all of the games that we have played this year, to push off some of the stuff that they have to next year, even if it's just January. But like I like once we start playing this game, I'm afraid that I'm gonna have trouble picking between them, and it's gonna be very interesting if, like, across the board, it's like this publication says Mario and this publication says Zelda and this one says Mario. People are going to be, cats and dogs. They're probably going to have a Splatfest.
That's settle it in Splatoon. That'll be the new hashtag.
You'll have to do a game of fiscal year and just start your fiscal year in November, so that it's not out in the fiscal year, so it can be next year's
Game of the quarter.
yeah, game of the quarter.
Lloyd, what about you, man?
It looks so good. I was really scared when some of the news about it leaked and the first couple screenshots came out, and I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. And then they showed the first video, and it's just like, okay, this looks so incredibly charming. It looks exactly like what a Mario game should look like. I'm so looking forward to it. The hat mechanic looks like it's going to be an incredible amount of fun. Be able to take over statues and T-Rexes and bullet bills and all that stuff is going to be fun. The return to 2D Mario, old school NES graphics 2D Mario, is fantastic as well. I hope they release DLC and it's just more of those levels because they look so fantastic. So I'm super pumped about this. As I was saying in the chat room, I ordered in Canada, new games cost $80. It really sucks. But Walmart released or had a thing around E3 where you could get it for $50. So I pre-ordered at Walmart and it's great. Walmart doesn't ship games very fast. So if this comes out on a Friday, I'm not going to have it until like the following Wednesday. And it's going to be like the longest 5 days of waiting. I'm probably just going to go pick up another copy on the weekend and then return the one that ships back.
Good call.
Hey, I'm with you. Like, I ordered from Amazon, so chances of them actually showing up on time are pretty slim. Though, like, I didn't get Zelda on time. I had to run to Best Buy and get a copy so I could make it home in time for my stream.
Yeah.
I will say the marketing on Mario Odyssey has been phenomenal, like really good, especially that live action one with the dancing. Like, I want to go to that show.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that video. I need to watch that one.
Oh, you do, man. It's really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good. I will say this, if you guys collect stuff at all, Best Buy is doing the gold coin. And so from my understanding, at least the guy I talked to at my Best Buy, even if you hadn't pre-ordered there, if you just go and purchase there, they'll give you that gold coin, at least in the States. I can't speak for anywhere else, but so if you're interested in that gold coin, which according to Best Buy's website, after the fact, they're selling for $19.99. So that's kind of crazy that it's a $20 coin. But yeah, Matt, how about you, man? Have you had a chance to play it or?
No, I didn't get to see any of the demos. But it was a game that I was kind of skeptical at first, and it's, as I've been kind of rewatching some videos and reading about it, it's winning me over to pick it up on Friday. With Doom, Wolfenstein, and LA Noire all releasing very, very soon, and then now Odyssey, it's going to be tough to play all four of these games. I'm excited to the whole hat mechanic is kind of one of the things that I'm really excited for, especially where you can possess and take over other characters. It's going to be interesting. So I think I think I'm picking it up on Friday. I think I'm going to walk over to GameStop and grab it because I'm really excited to play it. It's been a while since I played like a good Mario, like a 3D Mario game, and I think this is going to pull me right back in.
Yeah, I really think it will. And somebody in the chat was asking about motion controls. Like, I would recommend playing this game with motion controls because it controls very similar to Mario Galaxy. And as soon as I picked it up at the demo station, I was like, I'm right back where I started. Of course, you got the hat that you're throwing around and there's added stuff like that. But I mean, fingers crossed. And I've kind of been avoiding Reddit, and I haven't seen like any major spoilers or anything like that. But I kind of hope that there's at least something in space where we get a little nod thrown back to Galaxy and get to kind of do some of that again. But Jesse, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, I have not had a chance to play it yet. You know, I know that they have the demo kiosks up around the area now. I just haven't had a chance to go out and look for it. So the only thing I've seen is just what I've seen through E3 and other videos. When they did the Nintendo World Championships, I am like, I really want to not watch this level, but I want to watch this level. So, so I know what that boss is. And in fact, just as we started recording, the Nintendo website had Odyssey up for pre-purchase. So I've already bought it and I'm preloading it now. So
Nice.
So when Thursday night 11 p.m. my time comes around, I can start playing.
Cool. Does that take an extra 32 gigs on your SD card?
Probably not.
Of course.
I think the game's like 5 gigs.
Right. Nintendo knows the magic, like we were talking about, right?
Yeah, their compression is amazing.
Exactly.
And they probably don't want to share it with others.
Like I said, it's a TARDIS.
Yeah, you nailed it right there. You nailed it. Well, hey, guys, it's been an hour and 6 minutes. We talked about the history of 3 Mario games. We talked about the upcoming Mario game. And this has been an absolute blast. I want to just thank you guys for joining me for this. I know it's late, and so I want to wrap this thing up. But yeah, our JS is yawning. So Jesse, give us all the places people can find you and your podcast. Like, just plug away, please.
Okay, so again, we're a Nintendo Dads podcast. We're primarily hosted at VGTribune.com. The podcast feed can be found pretty much anywhere you can find podcast feeds. So iTunes and Google Play podcasts will be the 2 primary ones.
RJS, give us all the plugs, man.
Well, I'm Bill. You can find me anywhere at Run Jump Stomp. If you Google it, you'll get there. RunJumpStomp.com is the website, and I have a Nintendo-focused podcast where I spend about a half an hour 3 days a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and I talk about Nintendo stuff, and you can find that on wherever podcasts are found. And I'm also a Twitch streamer at twitch.tv/RunJumpStomp, of course, and for those of you wondering where the name comes from, it's the 3 things that Mario does. He runs, he jumps, and he stomps on things. So that's why I picked that name, and I'm going to be streaming Mario on Friday, as long as Amazon ships me my copy on time.
Very good. Very good. Lloyd, how about you, bud?
Yeah, I'm Lloyd. I'm Dasme on Twitter, DASME. I also run the Res TV network, REZD.TV. So do a whole pile of podcasts, a lot that I host and a lot that other people host. I think there's like 12 shows on the network now. It's kind of ridiculous. A lot of stuff from gaming all the way to pop culture, to wrestling, to other things. So some cool content up there. We stream most of the shows, not all of them, over on our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/ResTV. So yeah, we do a whole pile of awesome stuff, and would love to chat with you fellow Nintendo freaks over on the Nintendo Pulse podcast. Like I said earlier, we've been doing that for like 12 years. It's kind of ridiculous how long we've been doing a Nintendo show. The world has changed. It's been terrible, and then amazing, and then oh my god, what's happening, and now it's amazing again. It's the peaks and valleys of Nintendo has been kind of interesting to cover over the years.
It's definitely fun riding the wave right now. It's
totally.
It's a good time to be a Nintendo fan.
Switch fun.
Yeah. Matt.
Yeah, Matt, you can grab me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is ReggieFizaMeme, which
That's the best one, by the way. That's the best Twitter handle ever.
it started because I needed a new Xbox Live name, and I was big into Nintendo. I was like, why not? And it stuck, and I've slowly been changing it everywhere. So yeah, it's Reggie Fiza Meme is Twitter. Also hosting Hello Nintendo, which you can get on Google Play and iTunes or whatever podcast. You can also grab us on the Nintendo subreddit Twitter feed of our Nintendo _, where we usually post that. Podcast is bi-weekly. We're hoping to eventually go weekly, but podcasts are a lot of work.
Yeah,
a lot of work. So
For sure.
yeah, and then I'm hoping to actually start streaming on Twitch as well. Twitch and Mixers is kind of where eventually I want to get to. So yeah, Twitter's pretty much your best bet.
Cool. Very cool. Well, guys, I'm gonna make something public right now. I'm challenging all of you guys, and if you have co-hosts, we need to throw down in some Mario Kart. And I think it needs to be for some kind of a charity or something. I think we need to make an event out of this. And so I'm calling you out right now. All right. But I want you to have it in on your back burner, just thinking about it, so we could start planning and getting something together. Because whether it be for St. Jude or whatever the case may be, I want to do something as a group. To kind of just give back and to have a lot of fun doing it. So we need to talk
That's a
about
great
that.
idea, Josh.
And we're gonna be held accountable because they've all heard it. So so it could be a lot of fun. And I'll get to use my Wavebird in Mario Kart. There you go. That's what the chat's saying.
That's what it is. You just want to use that Wavebird.
So, guys, you're going to find me on Twitter at N64Josh. You're going to find me on Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube. It's all N64Josh. I've been making quite a few Nintendo YouTube videos recently, so make sure to go check those out. I also want to mention that friend of the show, Super Nintendad, him and I are giving away a copy of Odyssey. If you check our Twitters, you can see it there. If you're with us live, right after I stop the recording, we're going to be doing a giveaway of a copy of Mario Odyssey to the chat. So I do want to give a shout out to everybody here: Superstar, Kirby Geek, The Casual Cleric, Captain Logan. Let's see. Anyone else that I missed, even if you're just lurking, guys, Bravd, it looks like. Thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Game Smarter, thank you guys, seriously, for hanging out. I know it's late. So with that, remember, if you want to get yourself a book from Audible, audibletrial.com/NPC. If you're looking for a gaming chair, opseat.com. Use coupon code N64Josh. If you have a second, can leave me a review on iTunes. I'd really, really appreciate it. And you'll be able to find all of the links to these guys. The show notes for this episode will be at thelootcave.com/NPC43. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here with us live, and we will see you guys next week. Okay, stream is still live, so don't say anything too incriminating right now. So, just
Man,
like
I
to
was saving up all of my expletives for right now, and you've ruined it.
Sorry.
Thanks a lot.
Sorry, I know.
One thing I wanted to joke in the beginning of the show, but never got around to. If you called this the Voltron of podcasts, does that make me Pidge, being the left arm, based on where you placed me in the grid? Which is ironic because when the OG Voltron, I was in 5th grade when that show was new. Well, we had a circle of friends who all pretended to be one of the characters, and I was Pidge.
Very, very cool.
That's awesome.
Go Green Lion.
There you go. All right, let me see here. I'm going to open up Nightbot real quick, and we will give away this copy of Odyssey, and we will wrap this thing up. So, everybody in the chat, get ready. Giveaway.
Thank you, Game Smarter. He says he loves Pidge. Now, I like what they did with that character with the Netflix reboot.
I haven't seen that yet. I keep trying to convince my son to watch it, and he's he just says, "Nah, I want to watch this instead, so we'll watch that."
None of my
And
kids
then
care.
I'll be
I'm
like,
the only one who does. It's because
My
I
3-year-old
was
likes it.
I was an OG Voltron fan, so just like Gen 1 Transformers
Oh,
fan.
same here. Although I've gone back with my son and watched the OG Voltron stuff, and it's really not very good.
It doesn't hold up.
It doesn't hold up. But I mean, I remember
But 80s
two
anime,
different
well,
Voltrons.
it's kind of pseudo anime. It wasn't
they also
really.
had the Voltron that was made out of spaceships.
Yeah,
Right?
that one
I
wasn't
I
as
always
good.
found I was like, how is that Voltron? I thought Voltron with lions, and that confused the hell out of me when I was
They
a
were-
kid.
Yeah, and they actually put out a movie that had both Voltrons simultaneously. So they are two separate entities.
I wasn't allowed to watch the one with lions because there was magic in it, but apparently there wasn't magic in the ones with spaceships. So yes, I had an '80s mom. Yes, she thought Smurfs would possess my body, and
Surprise, same continuity.
The magic and not was it Tigra? She was more concerned about the magic and not her.
yeah, He-Man, no way, wasn't allowed to. So yeah, Kirby Geeks, they're losing it. All right, guys. Let's see. Looks like everybody types the keyword Mario. Just type Mario just one time. All you got to do is type it one time. Type the word Mario. That will enter you to win, and then I will roll it, and you type Luigi. Go ahead. So far, it looks like we've got 11 people in here. Keep on typing Mario. There's 12. Nice.
Is it case sensitive? Casual Cleric wants to know.
Nope, it is not.
Captain Logan.
That should be in Spanish.
See,
Does that mean he wears the poncho and the thing
All
that
the
they
time.
took off the cover?
All the time. All right,
El Mario.
we're going to go 10 more seconds. Type Mario if you want a chance to win Odyssey. Some good
Mario.
times.
Nice.
So does anybody here say Mario?
Justin
right
from
to
our
break-
show did, and
But
until he got
Mario.
called out. Now he's more careful with it.
I used to. One of my friends in school was named Mario. So he was Mario. Hey Mario, how's it going? So we started doing the podcast DS Life, and so we're talking about Mario 64 and Mario this and Mario that, and I got so much hate mail, and it's just like it's
You
a dude's
should get
name.
hate mail.
I could have him on the show, and he would say his name is Mario. Like it's not. Yeah, it was pretty. So I'm traumatized. I still forget how to say it properly, so people don't yell at me. So it's a sore spot.
Like, but about I think the same episode when Justin got called out on it. My oldest daughter was listening into an episode in the car with me, and he said it, and she goes, "He says it wrong."
I was listening to This Nintendo Life, and they're both British, and they say Yashi instead
Yashi.
of Yoshi.
Oh wow.
Oh, interesting.
That's unique.
Interesting. All right, guys,
Never
last
heard of that
chance. Last chance to type Mario. If you haven't typed it already, last chance. It looks like we have 13 people, and between the four of us, that should be correct. So here we go. I'm hitting the button right now. I'm rolling it. Good luck, everybody. Here it is. Bravd,
Nice.
you are the winner, my friend. So make sure to shoot me a either a whisper or my DMs are open on Twitter at N64Josh, and we'll get you set up, man. So
Train says sounds like a gender bent name. I was at the costume shop this weekend with my daughter and saw these non-Nintendo licensed female costumes of Maria and Louise.
When my wife and I went to go see, I think it was either Play or there's one of the other video game ones, but she made it her own costume. It was Fire Mario.
that's
And
cool.
yeah, my wife dressed up as Fire Mario. Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Did you dress up as Peach?
No,
Fire Peach.
no, but that's my plan.
Were
is
you a
that
Goomba?
At one point, we'll go to like a con or something like that. She'll dress up as Fire Mario. I'll dress up as Peach, and then my kids want to dress up as Toad and Link, my two daughters.
That's awesome.
I like it.
At one of the retro shows here, there was a girl that walked in as Mario, and her boyfriend behind her walked in as Peach, and it was fantastic. It was really great to see.
Nice.
So right now there's a lot of people playing Mario 64. We're gonna raid one of these people. I have no clue who these people are, so if they're a little more on the foul side, I apologize. But we're just going to go for it. This person has 2 viewers, so let's go raid this person. Let's hit them with an NPC raid. Let's just blow up their chat. Looks like they're speedrunning, possibly. It looks like a younger person, so this could be fun. So I'll bring the link over right now.
Well, I know it's not my son because he's not at that desk over there.
Well, okay,
Uh-oh.
nope, I'm not picking that guy. This is the first tile that I saw was like a woman with singles in her underwear. So we're gonna go to the next one. Here we go. This looks better. I was like, what? It said donate to this idiot, and that was the picture it showed. Like, really? Why you do this? All right, here we go. This gal's name is Ash Schmash. So let's go hit her with a NPC raid. Here is the link. All right, let's blow up her chat, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you guys that are chatting with me tonight. This has been a ton of fun, and we'll see you guys. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. Stopping.